You think you know, but you have no idea. This is the diary. Just kidding. This is 25 bookish facts about me. In my earlier years, I really didn't like reading at all, but ironically started reading to escape a class that I absolutely hated. So thank you, elementary school teacher who shall remain nameless. I like the look of hardcover books on my shelf, as I'm sure you can see, but I like the feeling and I like to actually physically read paperbacks more. Deckled edges piss me off. I really wish that they didn't. I wish I could learn to love them, but I can't. The very first chapter book that I ever read was this Full House one. She was my fave. Ovs. If I put a book down for more than a month, it doesn't matter how far I am into it, I automatically have to restart it. I don't know what it is, but I cannot keep books on my currently reading shelf for longer than a month unless I'm actively reading it. It's a weird OCD thing, but I physically cannot. I will pick Harry Potter over Lord of the Rings all day, every day. Both books and movies. I was actually an English major, so people automatically think that I'm very well versed in classics, but it's really not the case at all. I've never even read Jane Austen. I cannot increase the speed on an audiobook. I've tried before and I just can't do it because it gives me way too much anxiety and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I lied. I really did read all 3 50 Shades of Grey books and they were horrible. But I'm still gonna see the movies because I'm a perv. Currently, I consider my greatest literary accomplishment to be having completed all the published books of the A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. Those books are freaking huge. They took time and I'm proud. My favorite genres to read are fantasy, paranormal, horror, thriller, and historical fiction. Them's my baes. My #1 book boyfriend is and always will be Ron Weasley. I love you. The love is real. The love is real. My second is Jaime Lannister. Don't judge my heart. I've only ever read up to the 5th book in the A Series of Unfortunate Events series, but I really hope to read them all definitely before the Netflix series comes out. I'd love to become an author one day, but I don't really feel like I've found my voice, whatever that means. But until then, I will continue to write fan fiction. No shame. I often ask myself, what would Arya Stark do? My favorite book, not including Harry Potter, is probably The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Proud Ravenclaw. I have to take the dust jackets off of my hardcover books. It started with Harry Potter actually because I would read them with the dust jackets off and then they would get all frayed and split but yeah, since then I don't read hardcovers with dust jackets. Ever. Never. Ever. Ever. Never. Vintage Classics editions and Penguin Deluxe Classic editions are my favorite editions of like classic type books, if that makes sense. I have collected many of each. I would love to fill up my bookshelves with all of them. That's like bookshelf goals. Show. I was actually blurbed on the back of my favorite children's series when I was a child, the Amelia's Notebook series. Pretty proud moment for me. Pretty proud moment. Even though I have seen the Harry Potter films hundreds of times, hundreds of times, I still imagine the characters as cartoons when I read the books. I think it might be because the chapter art, at least in the US editions that you get to see, was the first like version of the characters that I ever got to see. And I remember when I was younger, all of these like illustrated calendars and like playing cards and board games came out for Harry Potter, and yeah, that's how I imagine them. I don't know why it is, but it still happens when I read it to this day. And finally, the last bookish fact about me is that I collect various editions of Alice in Wonderland. There's this one, this one, this one, this one. I love this one so very much. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, which is definitely my favorite edition. All right guys, so that's all for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. In the comments below, I would really love to know what some bookish facts about you are, and also whether or not you relate to me on any of the bookish facts about me. I'd really like to know because sometimes I feel like I'm really weird and like, yeah, just like a hopeless cause. So it would be nice to know that there are some freaks out there just like me. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.